This is my closing speech proposal. What I learned from the class. I've learned a lot of things from the class, honestly. Just by thinking that whatever happens in the future, the way that I'll talk to people is going to be a major effect on how they looked at me and their perspective, and how they're going to feel about if it's the job working with me, or if it's to communicate, how they're going to be able to communicate with me. At the beginning of the class, I was curious in what I would learn, or most of all, how I would improve the way I communicate with others. I've learned that there are multiple ways of speaking, whether if it's making a public speech or a special occasion speech. I've learned that there's different methods of speaking: ethos, pathos, and logos, which mean trying to persuade the audience. Maslow's hierarchy needs, using language, trying to keep it stable. When making a presentation, using different types of presentation aids. Like if you're making a presentation using bars and pie graphs and line graphs, or using a virtual presentational aid, where you bring an object to the class, or something that you made, and it's something that you're trying to get a hold of, or trying to make your point in your speech. Being in class, having to do the impromptu speeches without knowing what might be, without knowing what it might be. Just having to go up there and speak from the mind was very challenging. And it was a challenge that I didn't know if I was going to be able to be good at. But after a couple of times doing it in the class, I've learned that I can speak even though I know it's a challenge. But I know it's a challenge that I can handle. When we did the impromptu speeches, and it was just out of nowhere, we showed up and we had what we were supposed to talk about. It was challenging trying to come up with the words and going in front of the whole class and just trying to see what you could talk about it. That was very challenging for me, but I've learned that I could take that challenge and I can handle it. So it's actually I'm actually pretty excited about that, because I didn't know I could do something like that. But going into the class and doing this, it showed me that I can. And it was a challenge, but now I know that it's a challenge that I can handle very well. Whenever it comes to a time where if I'm at a job interview, or if I'm giving a special speech or a toast or whatever the occasion is, I will remember these methods that I was taught to convince whoever's in front of me to know that I'm very serious. So whenever I'm in front of somebody that has to be important, or somebody that's important, reference like a job, I'm trying to get a job and I have to be 100 with that other person so they know I'm serious. I'm gonna remember all the stuff that I've learned in this class, the methods, the way of talking, the way of speaking, the correct words to use, and all of that. Knowing these methods, knowing that how I can improve myself on it will help me in the future with all my problems, and I know that I know how to speak appropriate to others. I myself thought that I was already doing well speaking to others, my way of communicating with them and showing them who I am. But after taking this class, I feel like I've actually learned a couple of things, which I'm obviously going to use. I'm using them right now as we speak. I work at the hospital and I have to communicate with doctors and nurses and the technicians and everybody as it is. And just by learning these methods, I'm kind of going through them at the hospital. How am I using them? When I have to tell a patient what's going on with what's going on with them, I don't tell them specifically everything, because I'm just the transporter. I'm not really sure what the problem is, but I use words that are that calm them down and make them feel that everything's okay, because everything is okay and there's never any problem. But overall, this class was a big help. It helped me out in a way that I know I'm going to use later on in life and in the future. So thank you again for everything, Miss Cooley, Professor Cooley, and I hope to see you later on. Bye.